Hey guys, welcome back to Cool AI Industry. Today I will be showing you how to fix the bottom screen of a DS Lite. I picked up this DS online for about $21, and the issue is in the bottom screen. It still works a little bit, it just doesn't have the touch function, and there's artifacts everywhere. I'm going to try and show that a little bit better. It like flashes different colors, sometimes it's pink and yellow, and it's just scattered all over the place. So what I'm going to start with is a quick unboxing of the DS that I bought. I found that it did come complete in box, so that was kind of neat for $20. What comes in the box is the OEM charger and all of the slips and manuals and stuff, along with the DS itself. Yeah, here's the console. Go ahead and set it aside for now. We'll look at the manuals and everything. Yeah, you got the PictoChat manual and everything else. Nintendo Power, DS, register now. Not going to be able to do that anymore. And our DS Lite manual. So yeah, that was all a cool addition to the $20 DS that I bought. I didn't think that it was going to show up with all this stuff, but it did. And that was really cool. Go ahead and get a quick look on the condition. When I opened this thing, it looked almost brand new. There was no scratches on it whatsoever. Unfortunately, I put a few scratches on the front, but above all that, I mean, the stylus sounds great. You can hear that. The buttons feel great. I'm gonna turn it on. Ah, that sound brings back so many memories. Anyhow, we're gonna have to fix this now. So, go lay out our mat. I just have a orange microfiber cloth that you would use for a car or something. I just use that as my mat. And then we can start taking this thing apart. Go ahead and turn on my light. Take a look at it. So the first thing you do is remove the Phillips head screw and the battery cover. And then remove your battery. This one's a little bit tricky because it's kind of new. Alright. Then I'm going to take out all the extras, the Game Boy slot cover and the stylus. And then I'm going to unscrew the other Phillips head screw inside the battery cover, or inside the battery compartment. I'll zoom in a bit here and take out 3 tri-wing screws on all corners. Top left, and bottom right corner. Then there's 3 screws we gotta take out here. This one's tri-wing in the middle. Make sure you take out that screw. Never forget that screw. The next thing you're gonna do is grab a plastic tool. I use a little tool from my iFixit kit to pry these up. Using plastic so I don't damage the plastic around it. Yep, 1. And then 2. There's a Phillips head screw underneath both those covers. After that, you can just pry the whole back piece off. I start at the back and then work my fingernail through the rest, and then just pull the cover off to reveal your board. And then you just pull the triggers out. Be very careful with those. Sometimes the pins fall out and then the springs get lost. I've had that happen a couple times. So yeah, next thing you're going to do is unplug your Wi-Fi chip. Unplug the wires from the chip, and then you're going to unplug the chip itself once those are unplugged. Get my handy dandy pry tool. There we go. Get that out. Now it's time to get the 2 screws off the motherboard. These are also Phillips head screws. I'm going to use a method that doesn't require removing the black cable because that's a pain to get put back. I'm just going to lift up the board and then unplug the bottom screen. Take the whole bottom screen and pull it out. There it is. Now I'm going to go grab the other screen from my donor DS, my first DS, and then I'm going to go put that in. Make sure to not damage your digitizer cable while doing this. Just going to lift it out good enough, make sure the connector is done. And I'm going to put it in upside down. There we go. Yeah, just gotta put it in, make sure the cable goes in, because sometimes if the cable isn't in good enough, you'll just get a black screen and it won't start at all. You'll see the green light flash and then it'll turn right back off. So make sure that that cable is in good enough. Okay, got that one secured. Yeah, here comes the fun times. Plugging in your digitizer is kind of hard. I'm gonna try and get this on camera. I'll zoom in a little bit. There we go. I'm just gonna try and use this and put it in. You're gonna want this put in all the way, otherwise your touchscreen won't work very well. The next hardest thing to do is plugging in your cables. As you can see, I had a lot of trouble plugging in the white cable. I even had to pull it up and I had to do it off camera. So now you're going to put the Wi-Fi chip in, then you're going to plug in the black cable. I'm going to need a pair of tweezers for this. There we go. First try. Next you're going to put in your motherboard screws. That's 1 and 2. And you're going to put your triggers back in. Make sure you check the board, make sure you're not missing anything, and that everything's plugged in correctly. After that, you can go ahead and put your triggers in. This part's a little bit tricky. I just put the trigger all the way up so the spring gets locked in place, and then I hold the spring down while I move the trigger into place. Got 1, and then you can do the same with the left side. Oop, got a little stuck there. Okay, there we go, now it's in, and I just fold the whole thing down, and there you go, you got 2 triggers. So the next thing should be just to put on the back cover. I would recommend testing it before putting the whole thing back together, so just like slap the back cover on, put a few screws in, and then put the battery in and see if it boots. I didn't, because I was pretty sure it was already fixed, so I just screwed everything back together. Yeah, just make sure everything's clipped in there. I'm gonna put the screws back in place. Don't forget any of those that are covered up. Put that important screw back in the cartridge slot. Covered screws back on. Put the 3 tri-wing screws back in. Then you can pop in your battery and test it. Here we go. Here's the DS completely working. I'll go ahead and calibrate it on camera to show that the digitizer's good. There's that. You can see all the squares glow when I touch them. All is good there. The screen was calibrated. Makes me really happy to know that this DS works. I only got it for $21, and I can't believe that was the only issue. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe.